Buckets. That's the name of my boat, Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to
It's
Tallahassee.
mercy if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shelly-o, hoodie girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Peep the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets out the buckets, baby. You out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
Welcome to another episode of Buckets. I'm Matt. He's Vish. She's Melissa. I kept seeing the screen of the hoodie girl apparel, so I didn't know we were live. But
it lagged.
yeah, how's everyone doing today?
Good.
This is my second hour of hoops because I was just on another show talking hoops. But our guest is already here.
Yes,
so,
Melissa.
Shall we get it going?
Yes.
Punctuality is a big thing with our guests. They're always early. But yes, she was hurt. She was listening, probably laughing to us bickering backstage.
She saw the
Here she was.
One of our newest additions to the women's basketball team transferred from UNLV, but from Texas, which, you know, me and Vish, we love Texas. I'm sure Matt does too, but we have ties to Texas. Please welcome.
I don't think Matt does, but anyway.
I'm hoping I pronounced this right. Please welcome Amarachi Kimpson to the show.
There we go.
Everyone.
Did I say it correctly?
It's Amarachi, yeah. You were very close.
That's as close as she Melissa's strength is not in the pronunciation game, but
yeah.
You're all good.
I wanted Matt to introduce, but I'm usually the one that does it. But I was like, Matt, do it. But no. Thank you for coming on the show, first of all.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me.
You are the first of any of the players from this season to come on. So you're the first is good. So before we talk hoops, it's hard to see, but I have this list. One's longer than the other. We have a little debate on the show about chicken sandwiches. I know that sounds
okay.
weird, but
all right.
if you could only eat one chicken sandwich for the rest of your life, would you go to Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Chick-fil-A. Oh,
good choice.
They disagree.
They're okay. Popeyes fans. Chick-fil-A has a nice lead, so
okay.
You'll be happy to know that Coach Cullup is also a Chick-fil-A fan.
Wait, I got a question though. While we're on the topic of food,
as is Coach Page.
While we're on the topic of food, because I know you're from Texas.
Yes.
So I'm sure, because you're in Vegas right now, I'm sure you've had In-N-Out. So
yeah.
Can you contribute to the Whataburger In-N-Out debate?
And
just keep in mind, I'm from Southern California, so
okay. I don't know. I've never been like a crazy In-N-Out fan. I feel like it's overhyped, so I would say Whataburger, but yeah.
We went over 2, but that's okay. We still got
Whataburger. Just like I'll defend Pollo Tropical outside of Miami. We know it's, but if you from the West Coast try and talk about it, we're gonna have a problem, Matt. So you gotta defend Whataburger. It's our hope.
Vish is originally from Texas, and you don't like Whataburger, right, Vish?
No, but I'm a Miamian, so I can say that. She can't. You gotta defend the homeland, right? So you gotta defend Whataburger.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
I love how food always becomes such a hot topic when we have people on. All right, let's talk hoops though.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
So we got to ask, obviously you were playing at UNLV and now you're coming to Miami. Why Miami? What went into the thought process?
Definitely the coaching staff. They were very welcoming. They were always keeping in contact with me. They were like one of my first Zoom calls with them and my parents, and so they had a good part in that. I feel like you don't know until you go on a visit, you see everything, you kind of see the process. They definitely aligned with a lot of my academic goals, so that was also a big factor. But just like the overall fit, the vision that they had, of course, incorporating like the style of play, wanting to play fast and transition, like a lot of that. All the checklist of Miami was like, check, check, check. So, yeah, it's really good.
And the weather's not a hard adjustment coming from Vegas.
I mean, yeah, I'm really open to anything, and so I'm really excited. Of course, it's gonna be very different, but I mean, I did miss the humidity a little bit. I know that sounds crazy, but I
It's so
mean,
dry in
coming
Vegas.
from
Though.
Texas, yeah, coming from Texas, it's kind of a similar thing. And so I have family there too. So of course, it's not my first time being in Florida. So I mean, yeah, it was really nice.
Texas
Yeah.
heat is no joke. I don't know where you're
Yeah,
from Texas,
yeah,
if you're north, south, but
She's,
uh, but
you're
no, the
from it
Texas
from
heat
the
in the summer.
Dallas area, right? Right. Amarachi, you're from the Dallas area.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Amarachi, so as a basketball player, I want to ask what, for all the fans, like what kind of player is Miami? Are we getting with you?
Yeah, I think they're getting a two-way player, of course. I've always been in between like playing combo, so I think like they love that versatility and yeah, like playing fast and transition, scoring, whether that's like the first 5 seconds of the shot clock or, being able to transition that into offense too. So, um, but for sure with me, I think they're also looking for experience, which I do have with the last 2 years that I spent at UNLV. So I think that helps a lot and they can put some trust in me with that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hype you up a little bit here. So I'm
I
someone
like
that
that.
I love like advanced stats and whatnot because I mean it doesn't paint the whole picture, but it gives you a really
Mhm.
general idea of things. So I looked, and I don't know if you've looked at these at all, but um, you were ranked 96% in turnover percentage last season, 94th in effective field goal percentage, and you were top 50 in the nation in offensive rating. Um, so what do you think really drives those numbers in terms of like how you play and stuff?
Okay, yeah. So first off, Uh, these stats is like it blows me every single time. I remember being on my visit at Miami and they were kind of walking me through every little thing, and I'm just like, I had no idea. Even what you just said, that's like a shocker to me. I mean, I knew I was efficient, but I didn't understand like how much. And so I think what helped was coming from a team where really like all five starters, like it didn't matter the day. Like anybody could be the leading scorer. And so um, really you kind of get used to that and, wanting to be a good teammate. And so really efficiency was like a big thing for me. Um, just, not being selfish type of thing. But yeah, those stats are crazy to me because again, I'm still learning about them till this day.
Yeah.
That's the guy. If you need them explained, he's got a stat for everything. So if you could win a game, would you rather win it on offense by making a shot or making like a defensive stop? Like, what was your preference, offense or defense?
Honestly, to win the game, let it be defense and let me get a block. That would be so hilarious because that would like never happen. I think in my whole career I probably had like 5 or less. So I'm like that would be I would brag to everyone about that. Like so probably defense.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So what? So you said they broke down everything when you were on your visit. What types of things surprised you? You said they threw some stats at you and broke down your tape. What surprised you the most?
I think when they were walking through points per possession, I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess it's pretty good to have over like one. And so mine was a little in between that. And then, um, yeah, I didn't realize for the longest time my field goal percentage was like 50%. So that was
Yeah.
probably
And
the
I
best.
just want to say too, just to add, so her point per possession is she's 48th in the nation. So it's not just it's really good; it's at an elite level. So just to hype you up a little
Out
bit
of
more.
every
I know
Division One,
Thanks. Yeah, yeah, I'll take
I
that.
out of
got
Yeah.
every
you.
Division One basketball player, like every women's
Repeat that.
Division One is 48th, Matt.
What was that?
Out of every Division One women's basketball player
Yeah,
is 48. Wow,
48th in the nation.
I had to make sure we clarified that because
And also, I just want to add, you have 10 blocks in your career. I looked it up real quick.
Kid?
So
Oh,
there you go.
sweet. I'll
Yeah.
take that. Double the amount I said. All right.
Sorry to interrupt, but I figured it needed to be said.
Definitely
I
needed to be
know I
said.
passed currently. Vish, come on, Vish.
Yeah. So when you met with the coaches, did they talk at all about kind of what your role might be, how you fit in with the rest of the Masters? There's not a lot of other new players coming in as well, and kind of how they envisioned you playing.
Yeah, of course, being a big part of the team, incorporating my experience, like I said. I know they have a really good freshman class coming in, and so I think really they brought in some great players, and so it's just all of us gelling together, and I think that's the vision that they were going for, and of course, um, emphasizing defensive schemes that they're excited about, and of course playing fast and what they still want to do on offense. So again, I think a lot of that of bringing me in is thinking, I fit the culture and things like that, and being able to gel with the future coming in.
Do you find it easier or harder to come into a situation where it's basically a brand new team, or is it better to come in where there's already like a bunch of established players, or it doesn't really matter? You're like, I can do whichever one.
You know what? I actually did think about that a little bit, but I think it's exciting to have, a new group. I mean, it's kind of really a preference, I guess. I don't have a huge preference, but, um, I think it's exciting when you see what they try to put together, and, I mean, if it works out, which I think it will, I think it's gonna be really good, and so, with a new group like that, there's just so much potential that hasn't been touched yet, but, yeah, it's
Um,
exciting.
When
how
you,
excited?
oh,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
how excited are you to play in the ACC next year and like kind of go to Duke, go to Carolina, and kind of play in all those kind of historic arenas?
Right, no, yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, like, I'm a very competitive spirit, and so it's a new environment, but, it's the big dogs, you're getting out there, so it's really good, and, just having the experience to play new teams and all the above, yeah, I'm extremely excited.
Have you talked to any of your new teammates or met any of them? I'm assuming you probably met Anae because when you were on your visit, I know they usually have like a player show you around and she's one.
Yeah, I did.
So, but have you talked to anyone else and how was your meeting with Anae?
Yeah, it was good. She was a big part of my visit. I was there pretty early compared to some of the transfers. Well, maybe some of them, but yeah, I've talked to about half of the transfers, not necessarily the freshmen yet, but I'm also rooming with Vicky, the girl from USF too. So, I've been in a pretty good contact with her. She's back in Italy right now, but yeah, it was good meeting her, and I got to talk to her really before I committed. And so, yeah, I've talked to some of the girls, and they're very nice about the whole experience, and so it's helped a lot, but yeah, I've met a few.
Oh, that's
So
good.
we talked a lot about your offensive efficiency, or at least I did,
Yeah.
and your two-way prowess. Where's somewhere like that maybe you've identified, or the staff where like you've looked where you want to make like improvements as a player?
I think at least talking with the coaching staff and yes, going through all those stats um, is I know offensive rebounding was a little one, just kind of a difference in really the style of play at UNLV in terms of my role of doing that. But it was I think, a big advantage that the Cavender twins had. And so they showed me a little bit of that and improvements. Um, I think defensively too, I think it'll be a bigger identity here. So, of course, increasing that as much as I can. And really, I mean, overall, just want to get better in every area. So,
Do you know what number
just
you're wearing?
focusing on that. Um, we didn't talk about that, but I do want to wear number 33. So that's
Why 33? What's the significance?
I just grew that at UNLV. All of like high school AU, I wore the number 3, but then I changed it up there. So I was like, let's just double it. And I like AK-33 kind of has a ring to it, so I kept it at that.
No, that sounds
So I
cool.
like it.
I
Yeah,
don't think that'll be a hard number to get. Everyone usually wants the single digits.
right. So
So hopefully,
yeah,
yes.
I think so. It'll be good.
You guys want me to keep asking? I mean, I have
No, sorry. Everyone just like
all
froze.
time.
Everyone just like froze for me. So I was like, wait, can I ask something or no?
It looked like you were about to say something, but I was like,
Well,
oh,
that's right. We
wait.
all paused because Matt was like freeze frame right when he was about to.
No,
like,
it literally it keeps freezing. That's why. Sorry.
like,
But
Like, the internet, I'm telling you.
the floor is
no, I
yours.
was gonna say, so I'm not sure, was UNLV a Nike or Adidas?
Nike,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So what were your like favorite go-to, because I mean this probably will have to go back to high school, I don't know, depending on the
Mhm.
brand, but like your go-to like shoes to hoop in.
Okay, I would say high school, it was Kyrie's, like any pair of Kyrie's I was going for. But college, I wore Sabrina's and GT cuts a lot. So
Okay.
yeah, Sabrina ones are like one of my all-time favorites. But then we did get like all pink Kobe's and like white and black Kobe nines. And so I like those. I'm just now starting to break some of those in, but yeah, a mix of that. Sabrina's for sure like top tier though in
Top
college.
tier.
So
Yeah. Very
gotta make
similar to Kobe's.
You got to make that
mhm.
switch to Adidas now.
I know. I gotta see what I like.
Find some
Try some
Hardens
new
or some
stuff.
Dames.
There are some custom
Yeah,
ones which we actually have pairs of, but
really.
I mean, these are
I
really
think
nice.
yeah.
those are them.
I think I like Dames a lot. I'm trying to remember in my head. I know Harden's.
I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah,
Trey Young is
I think I like
Adidas.
Dames.
Harden, Dame.
Yeah,
Those are the main ones. So
sweet.
the
Yeah.
Hardens are
Yeah.
cool, though.
Really? I don't know. They don't look like it, but I've heard that from a good
I mean, I
amount of
haven't hooped
people.
in them. I've just tried them on,
Yeah,
but they seem. You have to obviously play in them, so it's a little bit different. But I mean, they seem comfortable for the few seconds I've had them on. So
yeah,
you'll have to let us know.
Yeah. As you
yeah.
can tell,
I'll
I'm
do some
not a shoe
experimenting.
person at all.
Oh yeah, right there in the background.
Yeah.
Matt always has to ask the shoe question.
Yeah, no, I have to. It's a part. So stylistically, I know I watched a few. I think I watched the full game against Florida when you guys played Florida. But stylistically, offensively, what kind of differences do you think you'll experience like going from UNLV to Miami? Just based, I know it's you haven't even
Mhm.
gotten to Miami yet, but I'm sure you've had conversations with the coaches.
Yeah, stylistically, um, I mean, maybe just like kind of like the secondary offense. I think it'll be a little different than UNLV. I know some similarities are kind of just making reads and backdoors, things like that. But maybe certain said secondary stuff will be a little different, at least from what I've seen. But I mean, it's really gonna be all new to me. So I
Yeah,
mean, I guess we'll just have to find out.
yeah. I want to ask too. So, who are like some of the players that inspired you, like as a basketball player, or maybe you modeled your game after?
Yeah, so I mean, first off, my favorite players were LeBron and Maya Moore.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
those are two really great
But
points.
yeah, but I kind of a mix. I like to just watch a lot of basketball and steal little things from anyone. So, but growing up, Chris Paul was definitely one. And yeah, but I'm like a huge LeBron fan. You can't tell me nothing about him. So, but yeah,
So are you a Laker fan then too? Temporarily,
more. Yeah, that's
or
only
just
because of
LeBron?
LeBron.
Okay.
Yeah. The Lakers, I get a little frustrated sometimes, but I mean, it's all right though.
I mean, it could be worse. Vish is a Mavs fan.
I
You
mean,
know
it's
what?
Well,
I like the Mavericks too, though.
she's
Like
a
even in
Denver.
high school, I went to a good amount of games, and you know, I was a big fan when Luka was on the Mavericks versus the Lakers. So I don't know, but
Number one pick.
I
Number one
support the
pick.
Mavericks though.
Things are looking up.
Vish
Yeah, number one
Vish was a
pick.
bit heartbroken when Luca got traded, which I was very mad about because I literally got him a Luka Doncic jersey for Christmas. But whatever.
I still wore it.
That's
Vish, you
actually
should
hilarious
just
because
shoot it to me.
oh my gosh, yeah, one of my best friends, she's a Mavericks fan, and she had a Luka jersey, and she like, the moment the trade went out, she sold it, like, the next day. It was the most hilarious thing, but yeah, I don't know.
So
It's
I guess you were
crazy.
A Heat fan back in the day when you were
Oh,
really good.
yeah, yeah, I did. I love the Heat, and honestly, I was like, "The way the Lakers are looking right now, I mean, I might as well be a Heat fan all over again." But yeah, definitely Mavericks are still at heart, but, you know, LeBron's there too.
So I gotta ask, because you referenced watching like a bunch of different players and whatnot. Do you have
Mhm.
like specific teams you watch, like maybe to watch like a different offensive system or anywhere like that? Because I'm a basketball nerd, so that's kind of like what I'm into. Um,
Yeah.
is there anything like that? Like,
Not specifically like a team or anything, but I mean, I grew up watching a lot of basketball with my dad, so he would be the
oh,
one that's like pausing every 5 seconds, like, did you see this? Did you see that? And I think sometimes it is instilled in my brain whenever I just watch like random pro teams or even other college teams. And so that's kind of my thing, but there's no really specific team. Like basketball is basketball, so
yeah,
I enjoy it all.
I
Have
got
you
you.
watched any tape on your new teammates? Anybody where you're like, oh, I could see us doing this together or that or whatever, or just gonna see what happens when you all get to campus?
Yeah, I actually it kind of just happened where some of them played Miami earlier in the season, so I watched a lot of the Miami games from this past season. So yeah, I've seen about maybe
Oh, so yeah,
half of the
I was
transfers.
gonna
we
say
played
you
against
played
Val
against.
and Peterson.
Yeah, Shay too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was already a no-brainer, but yeah, and they also played Florida earlier
Oh
this
yeah,
year,
that's
so I
true.
definitely yeah, I saw that game. Mhm.
Wow, I guess
But yeah,
coaches are
no, I
recruiting during the game, huh? I forgot how many players we actually played against last year that are now on the team.
yeah, like 1, 2 yeah, a few. So, yeah, I've definitely seen a little bit, but I'm like, "Oh, yeah, like, I think that would fit, that would work," you know? Little things like that.
So you mentioned the Miami also fits with your academic plans. What are you studying?
Mhm.
What are you intending to study, or and why did Miami fit that?
Yeah, so I'll be a exercise physiology major at Miami, and so I wanna do physical therapy or maybe even own my own practice one day. And so, you know, that's kind of where that starts. But I've also actually had been looking into uh, PA stuff, so physician assistants and things like that. But
Yeah, they're
yeah.
health sciences. Coming from a health
Hmm.
science person, I studied nursing there, so their health sciences program is really, really good. So definitely can see why you want to come to Miami for that. Yeah. I have 2 degrees from their health science program, so you're in good hands with them. So good choice.
Nice. Thank you. Good stuff.
So besides basketball, what else? What else? What are your hobbies?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also a shoe nerd, so I mean, I love shoes, I love shopping. Um, I've done a lot of yoga for like the last year and a half, so sometimes that's like my relaxation thing. A lot of self-care, but I'm a big foodie, so like trying new restaurants like here, I've tried I would say a decent number of restaurants on the strip. Don't even ask me names because it's just like
Oh, I was gonna
everywhere.
ask you
But
something. Well, I got a
I
I got a
know.
place for you that's right across from campus. So I don't know
Oh,
if
really?
you have to have been there. Like every UNLV student has to have been. Lefty J's.
Oh yeah, Lefty J's.
That's the spot, right?
I've had Lefty J's a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently,
It's
Coach Fitz is a big foodie, so he might be able to give you some recommendations for good food spots. Because when he came on the show, he talked
hmm
about food a bit.
Vegas
So
Yeah,
is a
yeah. I
great
already
food
know that
city
because
though.
we talked about that a little bit on my visit. So yeah, he said he was gonna give me some recommendations already. But
yeah,
yeah.
Have you been to because in the same parking lot of Lefty J's, there's that like Italian deli. I forget the name of it. Do you know what I'm talking about? They have like pizza and
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I actually haven't eaten there. I know there's like Chiba Hut and stuff nearby,
oh yeah,
but yeah, I usually like around that area, I get Chipotle a lot. I love it there. So
that's
I
yeah.
love
Matt's spot.
Oh,
Chipotle. That's my spot.
yeah.
You're speaking his language.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, that's
back
my
on track.
spot though.
We're 2 for 4 now.
2 for 4.
Lefty J's and Chipotle saved us.
Real quick before we let you get out of here. So I'm assuming you probably talked to all the coaches within your recruitment, but was there someone that was your main recruiter who you kind of talked to the most and was kind of like this made me want to come to Miami?
Um, Honestly, like Coach Cullop, she was a big part, you know. She's just a very nice soul. You could tell she's like very wise, smart, a very good coach, and you know, I trusted that. I did talk to Coach Fitz a lot, of course, but really all of the coaches, like especially on my visit, was really nice, and I had my one-on-one conversations with them over the phone too, so I got to know them a little bit individually. So really, like, as a whole, it was really good,
Yeah,
really good.
I think Coach Cullop, that's the culture she creates here. So they're all kind of
Mhm.
like you said.
It's like a family vibe. You can tell when you
It
talk to all of
is.
the coaches. Like even before we had them all on the show before last season started, and like two of them had worked with Coach Hullop before, but then the others hadn't. And the way
Mhm.
they spoke about each other, you can tell the family vibe. So I can definitely see
Right.
why you felt that. But was there
Yeah.
anything like I'm sure you did a few visits? Was there anything that Miami does that other schools didn't do? That surprised you on the visit? I know you talked about the advanced stats, but was there anything else that you were like, oh, no other schools did this?
Yeah, I mean, I think some things with academic support, I know, like, during the season, sometimes in terms of, like, wanting a tutor or anything, it can be a little rough in terms of scheduling. And they're like, "Yeah, I mean, we could bring one on the trip or, you know, set things up." And so they made that process seem so easy. But I know, um, having like a physical therapist on staff, it it doesn't sound crazy, but you know, compared to some schools, it's a little different. And so it's more hands-on that they're there. And I actually like met one while I was on my visit. And so, yeah, that's definitely something that you don't get everywhere in terms of an experience, especially on a visit, at least.
So I'm gonna assume this is relation to the last name is not coincidental.
Who is this person?
Or,
That's my dad.
Yes. Hi, Dad.
Hey,
don't worry, your daughter's in great hands in Miami.
Yeah, you'll love Miami.
Yeah.
I know Matt's on the West Coast, but me and Vish live in
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
We went to school at Miami,
Yeah.
so we can vouch for
Nice.
the
We
city.
both went
Oh,
to
that's
school
good.
in Miami more than once. We like it that much. So yeah, Miami's the home school for us. So, yeah,
And Matt wishes he lived here.
We- Oh,
Well, he's
do
not
you
gonna
agree
stand
with
for
that?
that. He's very California, but
I don't know about that. Yeah.
That's always
so
I
when
love
do
easier
you
for
get
West
down
Coast.
here, and I guess when do you start practice and all that for the summer?
Sorry, repeat that.
Sorry, when are you planning on getting? I'm assuming you're not down here yet, right? When do you get down to Miami for the summer, and when do you start like working out with everyone and all that?
Yeah, for the most part, all I know is I'm moving in June 15th, and so we'll see
Coming
what
up,
happens after that.
sooner than you think.
Uh-oh.
I know, yeah. I'm actually moving out of my place in Vegas in 2 days, and so I'll be home for a month in Texas, but then going straight to Miami after that.
There you go. Got to hit up Lefty J's in the next 2 days, and then
Who should
DJs.
which player on the team should we reach out to try to get on the show next?
I think you guys should get Shay next on the show.
Okay.
okay.
We're not good at fulfilling these requests because coaches have told us, but we're gonna try.
Oh, okay.
But we may have to reach out to you to talk us up a little bit.
To convince people. All right.
Only if they like Popeye.
Maybe I'll go
Behind on
down
the
the line.
scoreboard over there, and so
Yeah.
we get some Popeyes ringers in here to get sporty.
Chick-fil-A only.
Chick-fil-A only. Okay, maybe I'll reach out to someone that agrees with the Chick-fil-A sandwich then instead of
Oh,
Popeyes.
wow.
Whoa, what is happening? This is collusion out in the open.
No, us girls got to stick together. I'm telling
I
you.
was just about to say that.
There we go. There we
I
go.
was hyping you up all episode too. The
I
offensive
am
stats
talking
and
with
There's
Gal.
too much Lefty J's talk, and you convinced her to
When Gal gets back in the States, she's coming on the show. It's hard to do it when they're
Nice.
out because of the time difference, but she's coming on. But
That's true.
but we're gonna work on yours because I have to pass one of these tests eventually, so it's gonna happen. But
Okay.
we've taken up so much of your time. But thank you so much for coming on. We can't wait to see you play at the Watt. You'll see me and Vish in the stands all the time. So thank you so much. Good luck with moving. Enjoy home. I love Texas. I have a ton of family from Dallas. So, but thank you again, and yeah, have a good night.
Yeah, thank you very
Of
much.
course. Thank you.
Good stuff. I feel bad that she was backstage before we even started the show.
I said anyway. Let's take a time out.
It's fine.
30-second timeout. We need a timeout.
true story.
True story. True
I hate
story.
when you do that and I'm about to talk about something.
Well, you're always about to talk about something.
Say, what is that? Unless I mute you, then we're.
The one time I paused to let somebody talk and none of you talked.
Well,
No, my
my
screen.
Wait, you actually just paused? He was about to talk, and then his screen froze. So I'm like, are you talking or not?
No, my screen froze. I thought I got booted. That's
You
why.
were about to talk, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I saw his mouse start, so I wasn't sure if I froze or you froze, and everyone else was talking. And then I realized,
No, everyone froze for me.
Guys, we're running out of space on the Chick-fil-A side again.
There's a lot of names we can erase.
yeah, true. If we get rid of the deadbeats, then
We're actually ahead.
yeah, from a certain
Wait, so
point of
is
view.
it people that have left the program that didn't graduate, or coaches that have left, or who am I supposed to erase?
It's whoever me and Vish say.
We'll talk offline in terms of what the criteria is.
At the popsicle? What does that mean?
The popsicle?
Matt, the popsicle.
I don't know. I honestly, I'm not sure.
Also, shout out to Flo. I saw he wrote in the chat earlier. I was on his show right before this Talking Hoops, so make sure you head over there and check that out. And what up?
Today. And most importantly, come on now.
Family. We've never had a family member pop in the show before. That's the first.
Yeah, we have not on.
Froze.
Oh, Froze. Okay.
Oh.
I didn't know where that was coming.
Hey, that actually makes sense, Bill. That's our bad. We were talking about him freezing. Popsicle makes sense. I don't know why we didn't make that connection.
Oh, you sent me a hockey thing. I just saw that now. I was trying not to read all of my stuff. Did the game end yet?
No, 6-1 last I saw.
I know, right, and I'm not going to hit my parlay because the usual people that usually get points like every game haven't. So, but it's okay as long as the Panthers win.
Is there sound coming in the background, or is that me?
I don't hear anything.
Monica?
I like someone's talking.
Oh, it's Monica. I heard something too.
I was like, am I hallucinating over here?
Look at my parlay. It's not gonna hit. Oh well.
All right. Anyway, back to hoops talk on the Hoop Show.
We were just talking about shoes and restaurants across from UNLV's campus. Like,
I mean, that was
Lefty days.
When it became localized Vegas talk, I'm like, dude, what's I need to be here at this point? Like, what's happening?
She mentioned.
No, you don't understand because you haven't had Lefty J's. It's like the best Hawaiian food you can.
I've never been to Vegas.
So good. Well, we're gonna go to Lefty J's whenever we go to Vegas.
Lefty J's. When we play Utah there in a couple of years in football?
Oh yeah,
it's in 2 years, I think. You shall go. Yeah. So, what did y'all think?
What?
We just interviewed. We're doing a show. We're doing a show called Buckets right now.
She's like, "Oh, we're still doing it."
We're
Sorry,
live.
I was continuing my Twitter war with this random dude.
Do we need another timeout? Like, I took a timeout, and I feel like it didn't work. I have to burn all my timeouts.
Listen, everybody we've ever had on the show is always great. She was so well spoken. I love talking to her and like so complimentary of the staff in the program. Like, and I love that she was so surprised by all the advanced stats.
Well, she knew them. I think she was surprised when the coaches showed them to her. She didn't realize,
That's something we hear a lot, though, that when players have gone on visits, that like the coaches break down stuff that they've never seen that usually programs don't do. So that's cool.
Yeah, and it was also interesting to hear, how those little things like having a physio on staff versus, not all schools invest in that level. And
the academic help. It's cool how she was like, oh, I want to do this. I might want to do this, and worrying about studying and like saying that they have like academic support. Those are things you don't usually hear, So Miami kind of helps you be not just an athlete, but kind of like an all-around person. Bill, we're talking about the women's team currently.
Yeah, the men can, go. I think what do we have? 8? How was it?
9.
9.
9. Yeah, we need.
So.
But right now we're still talking women. So, yeah. So I think she'll fit in well here. Obviously, good rapport with the coaches. Yeah. No, it seems like a good fit for her for what she's looking to do. Obviously, Melissa and I'm very familiar with the school, but also from a basketball standpoint.
Yeah, no, it makes sense stylistically and how she plays, Plays well in transition, plays well fast.
I wanted to talk to her about the health science program, but I think people would have stopped watching.
I don't know. That was right before
Lefty J's. So.
I was about to say, I think like that would resonate with more people than Lefty J's and Chiba Hut and whatever the hell else.
I don't know. The one other person that's had Lefty J's is probably losing his mind or her mind right now. So.
I feel like
Bill's got to come down to the Watt and see some games this year.
Yeah, no, it's plenty of good seats available. So that was good. Anything else we want to talk about women's wise? I guess we should say we're it's still a week and a half, 2 weeks away. but we are 10 days. Our anniversary show. 2 years. 3 years? 4 years. 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. Two.
Coming up on not this Saturday, but next
Yeah,
Saturday.
the 24th.
The 24th.
That's exciting.
Confirmed guests so far include Coach Cullup and Coach Ivy.
Yeah, we are Coach Cullup annually appearing on our anniversary show. So.
It's becoming a trend. I don't know if she's going to have to do this every year while she's coaching the program.
No, for sure.
So we don't have a time set yet. It happens to be Matt's wife's Monica's birthday. So we're going to see if we can squeeze in a show before he goes out for dinner, if she allows.
Yeah, it might be tough for me. But
it might be tough for Matt, but happy early birthday to Monica.
All right, anything else with the women? You want to talk a little bit about the men? You want to talk about Dallas winning the lottery somehow?
Are we doing NBA grid?
Are we doing NBA grid? We're not?
No.
NBA grid.
no,
That shot down.
Talk about the men's team a little bit, and then we can go straight into final thoughts.
All right, yeah. So Bill said, I think he's right. Obviously, 9 players is not enough players on the team. So where do you think we still need to address in terms of like positionally?
Is it like just like a thing of maybe we needed just a couple of more bodies?
Well, I mean, yeah. So you're position agnostic. It doesn't matter where they go. Just all the.
I mean, it'd probably be helpful to have another big on the bench. Because we have Uda and Renault. I'm really good at mispronouncing names. I'm so sorry.
You can call him Malik. Matt, what do you think positionally? What do you think we need to address still?
I think we definitely need another scorer / like shooter, someone else that can spread the floor. I think that's something that, we definitely need more of. Like shot creator as well. And then, I think another guy, I would say like another rotation type guy that could play like the 4 or the 5, just to have some more like added depth. So I think right now, Uday or Renault can both play the 5. And then I think you can even move some guys to the 4. Like I think Henderson can. I mean, he's a freak athlete, and in his body type and everything, he can guard bigger guys as well. So, but yeah, I would say another big, another 4 or 5 as well. And then I think you just add guys that, maybe some 2025 guys that haven't signed yet that, can develop here, and you just kind of take a flyer on, or other transfers from mid-majors just to see if they stick as well. Maybe they can crack the rotation, or just to, fill out the team.
So I know we've talked a lot about, not investing in 1-year players like Coach L was doing towards the end there, and seemed to kind of blow up in our face a bit. For these last few spots, is that still what you're thinking? Either we can answer this in terms of just get some guy. I know, Matt, you said maybe work their way into the rotation, but are we thinking a multi-year thing, or if they're borderline takes or something, are you thinking more of a 1 year, and then that way there's no like stuck with someone that maybe you don't want for 2 or 3 years?
I think it just depends. I think that like it'll be a mix. I mean, now you can have 15 guys on a roster?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what it is. I saw something, I don't remember where it was posted, but it was a breakdown of Jay Lucas talking about, maybe Max posted it, of like, I don't know if you saw it, Melissa.
Yeah, that's how he wants his setup as far as like
his roster breakdown. Yeah, so it listed like, let me see if I can find it real quick, but it was like 11 players on 10 to 11 like scholarship NIL players, and then like 2
scholarship plus NIL players. He deemed these salaried players, 2 scholarship only, 8 to 9 man rotation, not going to pay NIL to 13 to 15 players.
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense because you want most successful teams have like an 8-9 man rotation at most. So it's like, why are you going to pay a 11, 12, or 13 guy to just kind of sit on the bench, right?
Yep.
Maybe they can essentially take like a red shirt, see how they improve, and then maybe they can contribute following season, or, you know, you at least have your roster filled out for practice. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, it's a little bit of, you know, a little bit of the Moneyball concept, right? You're trying to buy wins. So, like, what is that going to actually get you to put money into an 11th or 12th guy that's probably never going to play?
Yeah. No, it's true.
It makes sense to spend money on that.
Obviously, games have to be played, but so far, as far as roster construction, what grade would you give Coach Lucas?
I mean, are we contextualizing it by what the cards he was dealt?
Yeah, put everything into.
Okay, so then I give him an 8. Then I think it's hard to do more. I mean, he's gotten some blue chip high school guys in there. We had no recruiting class; these are all his, right? And he's been opportunistic in the portal, and I think also, so far at least, this might change now as we get closer, you know, later into the window, and he's gonna fill out the roster, but he hasn't reached for anyone, which there's definitely a pressure to do, because again, we're sitting here with 9 guys on the team. Like that's not enough. You can't even practice. So obviously we'll get like walk-ons and student and all that. They would be able to practice if we had to, but not the way you want to. And he's resisted that urge to, let me just grab this guy, or let me grab that guy, or bringing back guys that shouldn't be here, right? He hasn't done any of that. Which again, that takes a lot of backbone, because it would have been very easy to keep. There was 2 guys that I think wanted to stay that he kind of ushered out. That's why there was that pause, like everyone else kind of left, and then there were 2 around, and then later they entered the portal kind of at the same time, which usually the coach was like, you gotta leave. But that's what was necessary. Now, is this an A roster? Of course not. But his job is not the same. That's why I asked the question that way. This is an incomplete roster with a bunch of holes on it. That's what it is. So I don't expect next year to be great. I know people get annoyed when I say that, but I think in terms of the cards he was dealt, which is literally no player that should be on this team, and only 2 that were even trying to be on the team.
He was basically dealt no cards. He had to completely build the program.
Yeah. So what he's done, getting 5-star high school kids to flip commitments, and getting into the portal and being opportunistic and using previous relationships. He's done all those things exceedingly well, I would say. What about you 2? You asked the question, Melissa. What's the answer?
I think he's done a really good job building a roster from nothing. And I agree with you. He hasn't reached for anybody. You could see the direction that he was trying to build it with defense. So yeah, I'd say A-. I'm still looking for a few more things. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, but I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, no excuses. I'll give it a C, I think. No, I'm just kidding. No, I would give him an A. I think just like you guys said, the cards he was dealt and whatnot, you can see the culture, he's trying to establish here. Really interested in seeing how we're going to play. But you can see he's trying to get a sense of like identity and not just get, a bunch of good players, but guys that fit next to each other. Yeah, there's a few holes, but he's done a pretty good job of getting some guys that were key contributors on some really good teams. So he's done a really good job recruiting.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we obviously, had questions about the hire at the time and the lack of experience. I don't think those have gone away. But we're in it for the long haul. This was a long-term hire, not a short-term hire, and he's basically just doing. Let's be real. This is an emergency situation. He's coming into a program that was the worst program in the ACC last year. one of the worst 2 years ago and had 0 players on the team, whatever his long-term plan is and its trajectory is, the first thing he had to do was put the fire out. So as much as, we were critical at the time of the hire and said, hey, there are coaches out there with more experience that have certainly been head coaches, some been head coaches at the power conference level, I'm just not really going to judge him on whatever happens over the course of the next year or maybe even 2 years, depending on, because let's be real, like there's only so much you can do in these situations. And as Matt, I agree, he's trying to be selective and trying to, get players that fit what he's trying to do. But he also does have to just be, look, this person will play here, and they're talented. Like, we're not in a position to pass up on that. So I don't know if we're truly going to know what a Jay Lucas team looks like this year. He's just going to have to do the best with what he's got. And he basically, he was, sometimes you just show up to the grocery store and they're out of the ingredients. And you're just like, all right, what do I cobble together from what's here? And I think that's kind of what he was forced to do. But now he'll have a full year, obviously, to recruit this time and, maybe do a little bit more fit analysis versus, I think this is literally just, these are guys, a lot of them that's a guy I recruited at Duke, or that's a guy I knew from here or there or somewhere else. So he's able to convince them to come, because that's the situation we put him in.
He gutted the team, which was needed, so we'll give him
Well,
that.
it gutted itself too, right? There's only 2 guys left, so even if he kept, and those 2 guys should not be playing here. So, but even if he kept them, it's not a team. As a Divine Ukachugo, AJ Satin McRae 2-on-2 tournament team is not going to fare well. So, that's your.
Bill wants to know if it's possible he's waiting on the NBA draft fallout to get a guy or 2. I don't know.
So when do guys have to pull their name out of the? That's coming
up. I don't know
But it is. It's possible someone shakes loose. That's why you see people enter the portal and the draft. That way, they're already in the portal. If they decide they don't want to go, they can just transfer to whatever.
Yeah.
There was Max said somebody was visiting, right? Didn't I see that?
Yeah.
Who was it?
It's a 3-star 2025 recruit.
Oh, it's not for this season?
Yeah,
2025 or 26?
No, 25. So for this season, but
okay.
Yeah, he was signed, or he was committed to, was it Columbia?
Columbia,
Yeah, a development type guy,
So, yeah, maybe the NBA, maybe there's somebody they have their eye on, or a couple players that are still going through the
I don't think he's, I will say, I don't think he's waiting. As Matt said, we have 15 scholarships. Like, I think there's not much left, if we're being honest. And
we're just not hearing about it.
Well, no. I think there's not, like, the guy, like you said, we have on campus is, 3-star that was committed to Columbia. Like, our previous high school guy was a 5-star that he got. Like, the guy from that he had flipped from Duke, that he recruited Duke, right? So, look, it's diminishing returns at this point. So I don't think he's sitting there thinking, oh, this guy's a take, but let's see what happens with the draft. I think he would just take anyone he thinks fits. There's just not that much left. And I think before he starts filling it, and I'm not counting the guy on campus now, because obviously he wouldn't be on campus if Jay Lucas didn't think he was a Miami player. I'm talking about next steps beyond that, right? You need players. And so that's when I think you'll probably start seeing him reach a little bit more. But there's frankly much left out there at this point. So, like, if that kid wants to commit today, he'll commit, and it's not going to prevent us from taking anyone that maybe bounces out of the draft, given that there's still 5 roster spots left after that. So, I don't think he's really worried about that.
But I think we can agree we do need more bodies.
Yeah, I wouldn't long term to commit to people that can't play here.
Yeah.
Because we saw enough of those on the court last year, and frankly, it's
most of the team.
I'd rather walk-ons, frankly, than some of what we saw here, because at least you don't get the sense of entitlement that you get from scholarship players that aren't good enough. And so I would, if we're going to go that route, Like if there was the option bringing back some guys from not that we're doing this and most of them have landed already, but the option was using walk-ons or bringing on bringing back guys from last year's team. I'd take the walk-ons. I don't want those people around this program. So, and I don't think Jay Lucas does either. By the way, got him the hell out of there. So they all left. And I also don't know that Nigel had an option to come. He's obviously good enough to play in Miami, but I don't think he had an option to come back either. I think the first thing Jay Lucas realized is I got to clean house. Because remember, he ran that practice with some of the players there. Like Jobé was there, Divine was there, AJ was there, and they all transferred after that. I think he was basically like, I think he knew the culture was so broken. I got to get rid of everyone, regardless of who it is. So he did that, and I think that was the right. I was beating that drum before the season even ended. Everyone got to go, and they did, and I think that's the right move.
Yep. We needed a full reset.
Need an exorcism too, but it hasn't happened yet. Maybe get some of the Miami, do some Santeria. Anyone got a goat to sacrifice in front of the wall? We got to clean out whatever the hell happened last year to both programs.
Some sage, everything.
Yeah.
By the way, we were all invited on the Flow show. He wants to have the whole crew on.
Why his ratings are too high? He's trying to bring him down. His show is not a fan of the hoops talk.
He loves talking. Listen, he loves talking basketball.
He loves talking hoops. His fans get so mad. Like, why aren't we talking football? I can't believe he went up there the day after.
I told him, wait till you get mad on and he starts breaking down the analytics.
You had some guts going on there the day after Jackson Cantwell committed.
I mentioned Jackson Cantwell.
And all the people in the chat while you're talking about that, and you're talking about stretch force. That's got to be a.
I said he's got to get mad on though, so we can have the real basketball nerd talk.
Chin series.
The basketball nerd talk.
Bring back the Chin series talk.
I wanted to ask her about Chin series so bad. I was like, how much discussion has there been about Chin series?
I mean, whatever we did last year, we don't need to do anymore. So if we run into Chin series, do something different.
The coaches know we like Chin. We've had DM conversations with them about it.
Yeah, before they tried to run it in the ACC, you had some friendly conversations with them about it. I don't know what happened. Back up we need new ideas.
No, I think we'll see a lot of I hope we see a lot of high-low, just with the personnel we have. Chin series isn't really unless.
I'll also say I do like that Amarachi was talking a lot about defense because we stunk at it last year. I mean, there were as much as there were times we struggled to score the ball. The defense collapsed so many times last year where it was just layup drills and wide open 3-pointers.
Yeah, we gave up a lot of leads.
Yeah, we couldn't defend. That was ultimately the downfall of the team. Could not get stops. Sometimes for quarters, entire quarters of the other team. I mean, Florida State hit so many threes against us. I think they set their score record for threes by 5 made threes when we played them in Tallahassee. And that's so, yeah, that recommitment to defense. You play really good defense and you rebound and you don't do anything stupid, you can win a lot of games. Limit the turnover.
You play good defense. Yeah, you play good defense, limit second chance opportunities, and take care of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean,
you'll win a lot of games, and both of these programs did the opposite of that last year. So therefore, they both missed the ACC tournament. So onward and upward, though.
Are we ready for final thoughts?
I think so, unless anyone else has any other hoops. Bring up. Well, we'll see.
Are we gonna mention the Mavericks or no?
What the?
That Vish has to be a Cooper Flag fan now.
I don't have to be a Cooper Flag fan, all right?
You better be. If my team got Cooper Flag, I'd be stoked.
You want to trade your Slovenian point guard for him? Because I do that right now.
I'll trade you LeBron and Bronny for Cooper Flag. Nico will do it. You don't even have to turn the trade slide.
Nico would definitely do it. Yeah, definitely grind it out.
Oh, I would love to see it. Just physicality,
I do think that is what he at least Jay Lucas. I don't. We can ask Trisha about it actually in a week, but I think that is Jay.
No,
Lucas.
I don't think the women are going to play like that. It's a lot of a slower pace. I think the men for sure.
No, I think his plan is to just get into a fist fight every game.
Yeah. It's like Houston before last season, because like last season they were like one of the most efficient from 3-point line and they were really good offensively, but like it was like, no, you're gonna battle just to get a shot attempt up.
No,
I love it.
Nico does not deserve that pick. They need to fire him so he's not there to make it. And they should the genius thing would be to actually trade it for Luka, because then you just got a first round pick from the Lakers for nothing.
Oh, we should also mention the rankings, the final rankings for the women's like high school like incoming freshman class came out, and Miami remained in the top 10 for women. So shout out to Coach Culp.
Wait, that was for ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Why do they call it Hoop Girls? It's so like why? The way they spell it too, it's
yeah, they're trying to be cool with the Z. But no, shout out to Colep and staff for putting together a top 10 class. I mean, this is, they're in a list with like UConn and LSU and South Carolina. So amazing recruiting done by them, and really great recruiting out of the portal. Obviously, we just had one of the players on. So shout out to them, and we'll see. Hopefully, I don't know if all of them will, but we'll see a few of them on our anniversary show in a week and a half.
Yep. All right.
Cue it.
Well, it's official. There's a limited number of shows that are going to be live from the basement here at the Bridges residence. Monica and I are taking our talents. Well, should I say the city? I guess it doesn't matter. They're not going to find me. Taking our talents to Cyprus, which is very close to the beach. Like, not the actual beach. I'm saying Long Beach.
University?
Yeah, university. It's not super close, but
you
it's
can
close.
go to Dirtbags games.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Wait,
Actually,
did you officially are you in like escrow? You officially bought a place?
Oh yeah, we're in escrow.
Look at that. Look at how I triggered that. Matt didn't even look up and see it. Unbelievable.
Shout out
to
I had fireworks going in the I
fireworks
forgot what the hand signal was. I think it was
that's a massive deal, buying your first place. We are very proud of the Bridges.
Yes.
Your roommates are going to be so sad.
I know they are going to be sad. I'm curious. I want to look this up real quick of how far beach is.
This one. I'm celebrating Matt's house with the reactions over here.
It is 7 miles away.
Nice. What?
Even. Love it. Oh my god.
All right. Good show, guys. Matt's happy he didn't have to do as much thinking for NBA Grid.
Yeah.
We may or may not see Matt on the anniversary show in a week and a half, but stay tuned to Buckets_Canes will announce the time for the anniversary show. There may or may not be a giveaway. I'm not announcing it until the actual show, so you need to be on watching live. Coach Culp and Coach Ivy will definitely be on. We need to hear from a few other coaches, so we'll see. Have a lovely evening. Cue the Sox outro. Don't cry. Keep it chill. Wear good socks.